exciting winning streaks. Now the team must address what happened and how to fix it. Cavs radio play-by-play announcer Tim Alcorn joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine. Did you bring your Kleenex?
Yes, a few tears were shed. You can't deny that. It was a bitter pill to swallow, a disappointing end. And as you said, very accurately, you have to figure out what's happened, why it's happened, and move forward and look ahead to 25-26.
You know, it's so easy to play the blame game. You can look at Darius Garland's lack of passing, Jared Allen's poor rebounding, even more Ty Jerome's Jekyll and Hyde performance when you compare the Miami and the Indiana series. But is any of that helpful?
Well, when you do a deep dive, Jay, you're going to look at all the facts and everything that played into why Indiana won the game or won the series in 5 games. By the way, don't take anything away from Indiana. They played great basketball, especially after the first of the year and post-All-Star break. They were one of the hottest teams in the NBA, and it was a matchup that had me nervous. But that being said, the Cavs have to look at what happened and why did this happen and what changes and or adjustments do we make? It's a team that won 64 regular season games, so there's a lot that's right. You just got to figure out how do we get to that next level when you get to the postseason.
Well, the Pacers were the only team in the NBA that really had the Cavs number all season. You know, they were the only team that had a winning record against the Cavs. And when they drew the Cavs, I had to hold my breath because I thought, ooh, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, and it's also sometimes it's about matchups. And Indiana was a tough matchup for the Cavs this year. The pace, that unrelenting pace that they play at, both offensively and defensively. How often do you see a team full court press in the NBA for an entire game? And basically they did that against the Cavs and then turn around and run offensively to play at the pace that they do at the offensive end. So that, coupled with the fact that they have length, they have athletes, it was a tough matchup on paper, and that transferred onto the floor.
One of my friends said the Pacers had 93 octane and we had 89 the entire series.
That's an interesting analogy, and yeah, they go full throttle. You know, it doesn't matter what the level is. I mean, they're just running all out, and for the Cavaliers, that wore them down.
Well, it's too early to predict off-season moves. Do you think the team's going to stick with the lineup they have, or we've got some free agency issues, there's some performance issues to address? Are personnel changes forthcoming, perhaps?
I think they're going to look at every angle of this, Jay. Listen, 2 years in a row, you got beat in 5 games in the semifinals. Now, last year it was Boston, the number 1 seed. They went on to win the world championship. But this year was a real disappointment. Kenny Atkinson said it was a failure. Donovan Mitchell used the word embarrassing. Now, those are strong words when emotions are running high, when emotions are strong. So, again, they'll look at things, and you've got a couple of free agents, as you said. You mentioned Ty Jerome, that Jekyll and Hyde performance. He's a free agent. Sam Merrill's a free agent. They've got some younger guys that we'll see if they now work into the rotation a little bit more. But they will take a deep look at this and figure out what's happened and what changes do need to be made. I don't think there'll be anything wholesale, blockbuster, but I think they'll look at some things and say, maybe that's the move that'll take us to the next level.
This looked like the perfect year for Kenny Atkinson in his career. Is there anything he could have done differently to produce a better result?
That's a great question. No, listen, I think they ran into a hot team in Indiana. I think they ran into a phenomenal coach in Rick Carlisle. The guy's won a championship in Dallas. He's closing in on 1,000 career wins. He will be in the Hall of Fame someday. No, I don't think Kenny's the type of guy that goes back and says, man, I have this regret, I have that regret. I could have done this differently. No, I don't think there's anything right off the top of my head that goes, man, X and O wise, he should have done this.
Donovan Mitchell said in a post-series interview that the team let the city down, but they'll be back. How do Cavs fans feel about that statement?
Well, I think that it's true from Donovan's point that they let the fans down. Now, listen, would you rather have high expectations and have that bar set really high, or would you rather have it be, we're not very good? I mean, the bar was set high and the expectations were high because this was an incredible regular season that people thought, as did I, okay, now we're going to make a deep run in the playoffs, and it didn't happen. So I think he's accurate in that assessment, and I think Cavs fans will now look at it as to say, listen, regular seasons are great, they're exciting, they're fun, but now it's time to get to that next level. Cavs fans, and the Cavs organization, by the way, from Dan Gilbert all the way down, they have championship aspirations. They want another parade. And so I think Cavs fans will now say, okay, we've got to take it to that next level.
I have a bone to pick with the NBA. The NBA playoff system rewards mediocrity, with teams with losing records having the potential to be championship contenders. Does this need to change to allow the truly great teams from the season to compete for the ring? Because it really should have been Oklahoma City and Cleveland in the finals, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, well, I agree to the point that there are teams that probably shouldn't be competing in the playoffs. But again, you're on that seesaw. If you don't let as many teams into the playoffs, do you then have more teams tanking to try to get a high draft choice? Although that all got scuttled when Dallas wins the lottery with less than a 2% shot at the number one. Mm-hmm. So, I think they go back and forth on that. But, yeah, to your point, it's tough to see sub-500 teams in postseason. But, Jay, as you know, the cream will usually rise to the top. And I think we're seeing that here now that we're down to just a few teams in the East and a few teams in the West.
Well, if Indiana goes on and wins the whole thing, we'll feel a lot better, won't we?
I think they can get to the NBA Finals.
All right, we want to thank our friend Tim Alcorn for being with us. And there's more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Hello, radio listeners. The Fan has a new weekday lineup. T-Bone and Tyvis hitting leadoff at 6. Bishop and Friends stays at 9. That's not new. Rothman and Ice at noon. You already knew that. Common Man and Timmy at 3. That's slightly different. Even more inappropriate, if that's possible. And Beamer is the new host of the Buckeye Show. You're welcome. Or we're sorry. Pick one. Get all the details at 971thefan.com.
With rates lower than the national average, plus special rates on balance transfers, a BMI Federal Credit Union Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card would be the perfect card for your wallet. Visit bmifcu.org/visa for more details and to apply today.
Save big at Menards and be prepared for summer heat with a new air conditioner from Denali Air. Quickly and efficiently cool your spaces with auto and eco modes to maximize performance and save on energy costs. Featuring 3 fan cooling speeds and a remote control, allowing you to control the comfort settings from anywhere in the room. Save big on Denali Air. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
That's a good-looking ball.
The sudden roars. That Sunday celebration.
Jack always made the putt at 18. And today, Scotty Scheffler did.
Witness the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. May 26th through June 1st. It's second to none. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Wow, what a shot.
Common Man and Bob Capace here for Worthington Jewelers. Bob, you know what I love the most about you?
That I pay you to do these commercials?
That, and the way you treat your customers.
All right, listen. I will hook you up in our warm, inviting environment. You will be greeted by our top sales professionals that are non-commissioned, but will help guide you through the entire process.
You're my guy, Bob. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com. Tell them Bob Capace sent you.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars. today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Bring more fresh favorites to summer during the Meijer Memorial Day 2-day sale, Sunday and Monday only. Certified Angus Beef Ground Chuck family packs are $3.99 a pound with M-Perks. And fresh Johnsonville brats are only $3.49 with M-Perks. Plus, shop hot deals all summer long on Meijer brand must-haves for $2 or less, like Meijer hamburger and hot dog buns for $1.39, Meijer cheese singles for $1.89, and Meijer chips for $1.99. Summertime is always a good deal better at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
The standing room only with all eyes on the 18th green.
That's a good-looking ball.
The sudden roars. That Sunday celebration.
Jack always made the putt at 18. And today, Scotty Scheffler did.
Witness the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. May 26th through June 1st. It's second to none. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Wow, what a shot.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. I care deeply about creating a world we can all fully participate in, free from stigma, misperceptions, and barriers. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Rooted in communities nationwide, Easter Seals helps empower millions of people, regardless of age or disability, through its life-changing services and powerful advocacy. Today and every day, Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
In Ohio, more than 56% of the youths age 6 to 17 participated in youth sports, higher than the national average. Now, the school year is coming to an end, and families are now preparing summer youth sports travel schedules, trying to balance that with family vacations and other summer activities. Lifestyle and parenting expert Karen Antonini is no stranger to being on the road with kids. She's a mother of 2 boys who are currently athletes, and she's here to talk about how she balances and other people can balance all of these summer adventures. She joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine. Well,
thank you, Jay. Great to be here.
Is baseball the most popular youth sport that requires travel in the summer, or are there others?
Oh, there are many others of lacrosse, football, even hockey. Most of these sports truly go year-round. It's completely changed. The playing field is completely changed.
How do summer youth sports schedules accommodate holidays like Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and maybe even Labor Day for those schools that go back after the holiday?
Oh, well, so families are not really truly able to enjoy these holidays anymore. I know, Memorial Day is around the corner. There's lots of tournaments. There's also, you mentioned what's the most, baseball has the most travel. There's hockey. They've got tournaments still going on. So people are now organizing their travel logistics for all of these holidays. It's not normal, but what's great is you're able to watch your kids really enjoying things that they love doing, and they're active and healthy, and you're bonding with these other families who are on the road with you, which makes it really special. It's a big extended family.
So if I'm living in Columbus, where I'm now, and I take my son on a baseball tournament to Detroit, for example, I could, in the downtime, organize a group activity like going to a museum or taking in a Tigers game, or, maybe just a group dinner. Is that a summer vacation, or am I on the wrong path?
No, that's a great idea. I totally advocate for that, because before I go to any destination, I like to research, where we're going, what things they're doing. So I would absolutely plan a special dinner, plan another sporting event. It's a great way, again, to kind of bond with your kids, creating these memories, because this is a different lifestyle these days. I mean, it's all about the sports, and it isn't. You also have to remember that, we're living too, and you need to provide some other fun activities for these kids.
How do you keep a trailing spouse engaged?
Trailing spouse. Well, I think finding things for them to do as well. Again, go back to your research and find out some interesting things in the area. Maybe there's a great museum. Maybe there's some fun shopping, whether it's the mom or the dad. Other parents on the trip too. Have them reach out and see, maybe they can connect and do something, kind of juggle between the kids. So if you're taking the child to the practice, maybe the other spouse gets to do something fun, and vice versa.
Childcare has gotten ungodly expensive. What happens when you have children in tow that are not participating in sports and kind of feel left out because all they're doing is sitting in the bleachers?
That's a really good question. I have one of those sometimes, more often than not. So, they can become the team mascot. That's a great way to include them. They can become the water manager. Maybe they keep special stats, get them a little book. They have special stats. There's a lot of things that they can do. They can keep their own travel journal as well and write about their experience, but maybe some compact games, and keep them entertained and off their phones, because I think that's the biggest challenge there too, is to really make them feel part of the team, part of the big extended family.
Well, travel's not cheap. So you got to think, if you're driving, you're paying for gas. And then you've got to pay for food both along the way and while you're there. And depending upon what city you're in, hotel costs could vary. How do you manage all of these expenses?
So in terms of accommodations, you really want to look for hotels that cater to families and have family-friendly amenities. For example, IHG Hotels and Resorts really have a wide range of options, and they do take that affordability into mind. Brands like Holiday Inn Express, Garner, and Staybridge Suites offer a complimentary breakfast, which saves us time and money, a lot of time in the morning, that one less step. Also, kids are always hungry, and that's the first meal of the day. So that's a great way to, kind of budget there. They also have the Staybridge Suites and Candlewood Suites, which offer apartment-style accommodations. So you've got the fully equipped kitchen, you've got bigger living spaces, and they even have outdoor spaces with grills and fire pits. So you can actually go to a supermarket there. You don't have to go out to restaurants. You can come back and enjoy your time at the property and cook, and maybe do that with other teammates. So it becomes more of a fun event than just one person or two people cooking in the kitchen.
So no more bologna sandwiches in the plastic bag like we did back in the 70s.
I feel like maybe we've upgraded just a bit.
I love that.
Yes, get a great cooler and invest in that for sure. And, I like to bring as much food as I can ahead of time, the essential groceries, especially for the car rides or even for the plane, because those mini marts and convenience stores really add up.
Karen, is there a website where there's more information for parents?
Absolutely. Head to ihg.com/youthsports, and you'll have a great range of options for you in family-friendly hotels. And you can also check out the rewards program, IHG One Rewards, because every time you stay, you earn loyalty points, which you can use towards your next visit.
All right, Karen Antonini, thank you for being with us. There's more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognize the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders have contributed so much to politics, medicine, aviation, entertainment, and sports in the United States. This month, we celebrate these contributions, and we stand united in asking for what's right. Equal opportunity for every student, every educator, and every family.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now, let's check in with Matt Andrews for this week's Ohio Broadcaster Roundtable.
Welcome back to this week's Ohio Sports Magazine. I want to talk with my baseball broadcast partner, Bob Spears, Ohio State Baseball here on the radio. And Bobby, we've done this for a few years now, and I want to get your take on what was a very un-Buckeye-like baseball season, frankly. 13-37, last the Big Ten, 5-25. You're a proud alum of Ohio State baseball as a captain at Ohio State. Justin Herron, year one, had a lot of retooling to do and has more to come, doesn't he?
He does. We both saw it. And, we've done this a long time together, and this was by far the most trying season we had to watch with all the coaching changes. This is the third coach they've had in 4 years. It just, that he was asked to do a lot. They tried to, put together some arms out of the transfer portal, and it flopped. And it was nobody's fault. They tried to get some stuff, and all those pieces, either, injuries or they just weren't, able to pitch at this level. I think that was the biggest problem that they had. And you saw it, that they probably had 7 or 8 guys on that pitching staff that really don't belong at this level. And it's nothing personal against them. It is what it is. We're supposed to call the games and analyze the games. And unfortunately, that was the analysis we came up with. They just weren't able to compete really at any point during the season.
Bob, you talked a lot, and you make a great point about freshmen being ready for that moment. And some of these guys simply were specifically freshman pitchers. It takes a little bit of time once you get involved in college baseball to get acclimated, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, nobody expected Will Howard when he, came to wherever he started before Ohio State his freshman year to be a starter. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, this isn't Division III. It's not junior college. I mean, it is the Big Ten. I mean, this is big time sports. And you think about everybody out there that ever played sports. When you're in high school, I mean, you're your guy on that team. That's why you're getting recruited to these levels. But I was critical of some of these guys, and I can use myself as an example to kind of show that a little bit more. I wasn't ready my freshman year. I probably wasn't ready my sophomore year. I redshirted, and then by the time I was there a couple of years, you get stronger. You get a better idea what the coaches want. You're able to compete. These poor guys, I mean, we really felt bad for them. They had no pitching, they had no arms, and they had to go in and throw. When you see games like we saw at Wrigley Field, a beautiful environment, and guys just were out there throwing that probably shouldn't have been there.
The old adage of taking one for the team. Bob, I want to switch a bit. Bob Spears joining us here on the Ohio Sports Magazine, my analyst for baseball at Ohio State. Our memories of baseball tournaments past in the Big Ten in Omaha, they're very, very frequent, shall we say. When you add UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon to this Big Ten, can you imagine right now, this week as we record this, what's going on out there in Omaha with kind of a mini College World Series setup right now?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I was looking at the 3 games that were played yesterday. I was looking at that this morning, and I started thinking back to our years out there. The 16 year, I was out there with Paul Keels, and they won the whole thing. And you and I were there in 18 and 19, and we saw that magical run in 19, and then we were there again last year. But adding those schools in, it's a preeminent baseball conference. I think former coach Bill Mosiello, when he came in to Ohio State from where he was down in Texas, I don't think he quite knew what the Big Ten was all about. He found that out pretty quick. And I think a lot of people have always underestimated it nationally. You throw those teams in this mix, I mean, there's some good baseball. You watch Major League Baseball every night, you're going to see Big Ten guys playing on various teams. And it's pretty cool to see what it's become. But unfortunately, I never even thought we would see this. But to see Ohio State at the bottom of that list for the entire season was just something that we've never seen before. And I truly believe, I know you do as well, I think Justin Hare is going to get this thing figured out. But he's going to have to do it with he's not going to be able to be a nice guy about it. He's going to have to make some tough choices and do it pretty quick.
There'll be cuts. But recruiting the key to all this, right? I mean, they're going to have to bring guys in right now.
Yeah, and people are saying, well, why would someone want to come to Ohio State right now with as bad as it appeared to be this year? And that Block O means a lot. There's kids all over the country that are seeing, my goodness, I can go play at Ohio State. I'll be able to play probably next year. That place means a lot. They just hit a really bad run of a coach leaving. Too many players got cut before that coach left. New guy came in, wasn't able to put together what he needed in the short amount of time, and you got a 13-37 season. So, I mean, they're trying to raise some money for NIL. We'll see what happens.
Finally, partner Bob Spears joining us. I'm going to throw a few names out there, and again, a couple of these guys could get drafted, but the returning guys like Mason Eckelman, Matthew Gravelin, a guy like Lee Ellis and Maddox Simpson, those are some pieces I would believe would be welcome back and can kind of help steer this the right way for Coach Hare. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Matt Gravelin might be one of those guys that possibly could get picked late. Mason Eckelman had a real good sophomore season. We talked about it all year. I think Sahil Patel was an arm that we watched at the end of the year that started to come around a little bit. He was hurt the year before. Lee Ellis for sure was hurt. I've heard he's already been asked back. So, I mean, there's some pieces there, but I think honestly there were maybe eight to 10 guys on that team that probably will come back next year that were able to compete at that level, and that's a shame because I mean they're nice guys. We get to meet them every year, but as they always say, nice guys don't always finish first. It was hard to watch, but I know we believe in Justin Hare, and I think we're going to see better things next year.
Partner, always a pleasure and privilege. As a former Chillicothe Paint, as you are as well, we share that bond. I appreciate your time, Bobby.
I appreciate you having me on, buddy.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops.
Scream for ice cream.
The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere.
It's in my eyes.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Here's a fresh deal on produce. 18-ounce containers of blueberries and 2-pound containers of strawberries are only $2.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Spring showers revealing roofing or siding issues? Trust the pros at Newman Roofing for expert care, white glove service, and quality you can count on. Schedule your estimate today and take advantage of special financing options. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-345-2789. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-345-2789. That's 800-345-2789 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-345-2789.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. Get a complimentary second opinion to see if your portfolio is properly designed to achieve your goals before it's too late. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunday, we'll see more clouds around and the chance for a couple of rain showers, highs into the mid-60s, and then drier conditions and a little bit more sunshine here on Memorial Day with highs right around 70. I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is ONN.
We're less than 100 days until the start of the 2025 college football season. Saturday, August 23rd is what's known as Week 0, where a handful of FBS programs will get their 2025 seasons underway. Ohio State will open things in Columbus, taking on Texas. That's August 30th. Time for that game is still to be determined. Earlier this month, CBS Sports reported that former Alabama head coach Nick Saban is going to be nominated by United States President Donald Trump to co-chair a new commission to address the growing issues and concerns with college athletics. Since that report came out, Nick Saban said multiple times he's got no interest in being in charge of fixing college sports. Fixing college sports is a tough ask already. It'll become more so when the $2.8 billion House versus NCAA settlement gets finalized sometime early in the summer. That'll see NCAA schools sharing as much as $20 million with their student athletes from athletic department revenue. Paul Feinbaum covers college football at large for ESPN. He joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on ONN affiliate WBNS-FM in Columbus. Paul said when he talked to Saban, that similar sentiment was echoed.
So Saban sat with me a week ago in Birmingham at a golf tournament and essentially said, we don't need a commission. And some of it was defensive, being, Nick Saban being Nick Saban, the fact that it had not officially been announced yet. But then he did it again this week at his own charity golf tournament, and that told me that he is trying to distance himself. And I don't think it's political, but in a nutshell, 3 weeks ago when all this happened, Tommy Tuberville flew down to Tuscaloosa for the commencement with Donald Trump. And I think when Trump met Saban, Tuberville said, hey, here's your guy. Trump, listen, I don't need to explain the president to anyone listening. He said, you're my guy, get it done. And then let's move on to Syria, and then Afghanistan, Russia, Ukraine, China, Pakistan, and I think Saban felt like I'm not saving college football because you and I both know Nick Saban doesn't like what the other guy in the committee is, the Texas Tech booster, who's funneling tens of millions of dollars into the system. Saban wants to go back to the way it was 15 years ago. In his mind, it was a level playing field. Essentially, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, LSU, and Florida basically got every player, and they took turns winning national championships. He doesn't like the way it is right now.
No, and I that's the thing that's so frustrating about all of this is, I just took an email from a loyal listener who was talking about the Olympic sports, and he's like, I'm very fearful that these are going to go away. And Ross Bjork up here has a big decision because they got 36 sports at Ohio State. Texas got 16, 17, something like that, and you're trying to compete on the same field. It just doesn't seem possible that you're going to be able to keep all of these things. They have some very difficult decisions. It seems like the SEC programs, at least, are better aligned in terms of you don't see these athletic departments that are as large as the one we have here in town.
No, Ohio State has the biggest problem of anyone in the country because it doesn't pay lip service. It supports all these programs, but they will not exist in their current structure. It is impossible, and it's going to become like if you're operating the Columbus Mall Walmart, what sells best is out front. The rest of it gets buried, and that's what's going to happen to the programs that and by the way, though football makes money, basketball in some places makes money. I was in Columbia, South Carolina about a month ago. They have the best basketball program in the country. They lost about $5 million last year in women's basketball, and they sell out every game.
Man, that's. I would have thought that they would have been one of the. That's surprising. I know that a lot of people don't make it, but I thought that maybe that would be one that would.
They also pay the coach $8 million a year, and so anyway, there are a lot of reasons for that. Okay.
So yeah, well there you go. That's when you do that. That's part of the reason that gets done. We're having some fun this week on the program with we're 25 years into the decade. We're having some lists that we have a little bit of fun with. From 2000 on, what is the best team that you saw?
I think there are two that stand out, and I vacillate, and I know somebody in the back row is going to say, "Here comes the SEC homer," but go ahead. I think the 2019 LSU team with former Buckeye quarterback Joe Burrow, and ironically, the 2020 team that nobody will ever give credit for. That Alabama team, of course, beat Ohio State in the national championship game during COVID. And I would have liked to have seen that in a legitimate schedule, but, I mean, just go back to the backfield. I believe there were 3 of the top 5 Heisman finalists in the backfield, including Devontae Smith. I mean, who really wasn't in the backfield, but you had the running back who's now in Pittsburgh. You had Mac Jones, who really wasn't that great of a quarterback, but at the time he was.
Yeah, Bryce Young was the backup on that team. They were certainly on the list that we had. I just real quick, and I'll get you out of here on this one on the LSU one. When did you realize that team was special?
It was early in the season. What was funny is I sat with Joe Burrow at media days, and I had just been on the set with a bunch of talking heads, football players, and they were ranking, top 1 through 14, the best quarterbacks in the SEC. And one guy had Joe Burrow ranked 3rd. And I think it was Jordan Rogers said, "Are you out of your mind? I mean, come on, that guy's not even the top." And I told Burrow that when he came on the show. We may have played it, I can't remember. Yeah. And he looked at me and he said, that's absurd. I said, really? He said, I'm the best quarterback in the SEC. And that was the first time I started to take Joe Burrow seriously. I said, are you? I mean, I didn't really know what to say because I didn't think he was among the top 5 or 6. I thought, 3 to 7. I mean, who knows? I mean, he hadn't done that much the previous year. And then game 1, 2, 3. I mean, it was just incredible to watch.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
We could tell you what makes Giant Eagle special, but we think our customers say it best.
I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
On every shelf, in every department, we're always going for better because being your Giant Eagle matters.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Get Eagle.
ECO.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, it's that time of year again.
What time is that?
The time all the air conditioners start breaking down.
Oh, that time. Yep, every year.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Like a swarm of bees. They all get together in a coordinated effort.
You mean the Queen air conditioner tells them all to break down?
Nah, they just get tuckered out in the heat, Aaron. Can we handle all the calls?
Sure, we have a swarm of highly trained coolness experts standing by.
Get Eco.
ECO.
And we have $3.5 million in new service trucks to get them there the day you call.
The same day? Well, what if you don't call until...
We'll come as late as you'll stay up to let us in. Same day.
That explains all the revving engines.
It's like a beehive of activity, Jerry.
Do you know I invented that weird Scoopy thing you serve honey with?
You should invent something for ketchup, Jerry. It's America.
Ooh, now that's an idea.
Get Eco.
ECO.
GetEco.com.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
At 9 Trees Landscape Construction, we have high expectations. Can you deliver excellence in hardscape at the highest level? Does your current company compensate you at the highest level? For 25 years, 9 Trees compensates excellence with wages and benefits packages guaranteed better than your current employer. Guaranteed. Call 614-921-9595 or apply at 9treeslc.com today to join 9 Trees Landscape Construction and elevate your career to be your best with us.
When you're a AAA member, we do the hard stuff for you. So picture this. You're taking a road trip through the mountains at night and you run out of gas. Do you, A, call AAA, or B, walk 29 miles to the nearest gas station in the pouring rain?
A?
How about this? You need auto insurance. You could A, pick AAA to find the best coverage for you, or B, spend so much time researching insurance jargon that you might as well have gotten a law degree.
Yeah, I'm going with A.
Right. Okay, you're booking a vacation. You can A, have AAA plan it for you, or B, stress so hard about layovers and getting to your cruise that you need a vacation from booking your vacation.
That's easy. A, AAA.
On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus side.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
This is ONN.
Welcome back to the Ohio Sports Magazine. Jeff Carr of Locked On Reds joins us. Jeff, where do you kind of build to where this team is right now? Are they exciting? Are they good? Are they average? What are you seeing right now?
It really feels like they are excitingly average, which might just be a very simple way of saying they're mediocre. And baseball itself has almost lent it to being okay to be mediocre. I mean, so many teams get into the playoffs anymore, and there's definitely a lot of teams that think that they can build a team on the cusp of the wild card, although I would argue I don't think any team from the NL Central is going to make the wild card this year. But it's given hope to the teams that are like, we know we can't outspend the Dodgers or the Yankees, but we can build a team that can win 84 games.
Where do you see the overall health of this team now 2 months in? Because health, more than anything in baseball, as you know, Jeff, is always kind of the unknown entity.
That's definitely much better than it was last year. It feels like there are a couple of guys that are missing, but they're the guys that we were hoping to take a step forward, or maybe we're on the periphery a little bit, or we're just flat out disappointing ever since coming here and Jeimer Candelario. And we kind of need to see more from those guys. And so it feels like it's as unfortunate as it is, because it's part of all of sports, not even just baseball, but, you know, health tells a story. And if you're not going to stay healthy, then it's hard for us to rely on you. As much as CES is a guy that I feel like is part of the best version of this team, we just haven't seen him stay healthy. And that's going to be a hard thing for him to overcome, because it seems like it's something new every time. And he's had, you know, multiple PRP injections into his back. And so the reports are that, you know, he's still not yet begun a rehab assignment. We're not exactly sure when he's going to come back. And Spencer Steer's playing a fine first base. So it's really hard to say, yes, when CES comes back, he has an everyday spot in this lineup. But I think ultimately when you look at who's on the injured list, who's about to come off the injured list, I think that the Reds are having better fortune than a lot of other teams in the league.
Including getting a guy like Hunter Green back, correct?
Including that, and especially the timing on that, because it should be the very first game of the Cubs series when they desperately need to win some ball games.
What do you make of the shutout losses? Is too much made into that? Are they lacking more than one bat? Are there possibilities at AAA and below? Where are we going with shutout losses right now?
Shutout losses are so frustrating to me. I mean, especially when you put them back-to-back, like what happened in the first two games of the Pirates series, where the first game they scored 7 runs and the second game they scored 0 runs. So you know that they have the potential to score plenty. And with the pitching staff that they have had this season, the entire pitching staff for the Reds has an ERA of 3.5, which means if you score 4 runs a game, you should win pretty much every game. And I really feel like that's what's frustrating the most. And I don't necessarily know that it's any one bat that's in organization. I think that they are one good trade away from being exactly where they need to be. And I really hope that Nick Krall's ready to make that deal.
We heard a lot, Jeff, about the Tito factor going into the year and how he will make up for this or that. And this team immediately gains more credibility with the manager. Are you seeing that even despite some shutout losses and very good pitching?
Definitely. I think that he manages the bullpen well. I think he understands when a guy needs to be taken out of the ballgame and when the guy needs to be left in the ballgame. And it seems as though he's really got a handle on that. And I think that Derek Johnson's a big part of how they manage the pitching staff, but also just how he manages the personalities of the players. I think that this team is very even-keeled. It's not the type of team that we've seen in the past where it's a lot of fire at some points and then it's a lot of question marks as far as, you know, how are they going to react to stuff at some points. I think that, you know, a perfect example is this Pirates series where over the years it's been a rivalry between two teams who are just trying to avoid the bottom of the division, but that has sometimes been a little bit of explosive. I haven't seen anything to indicate that the Reds are feeling that way about this matchup this year in the couple of series that they've played already. And I think that that's a testament to Tito. And as much as there's definitely some decisions that I disagree with, and that's an easy one to talk about with any manager in the ballgame, I think ultimately we're starting to see the fruits of what we expected.
Jeff Carr, you're so good for your time. Thank you so much, my friend.
Appreciate you, Matt. Go Reds.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at changethegameohio.org. That's changethegameohio.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to substantial returns and increased personal enjoyment. Hiring a certified arborist can help care for your trees and add considerable value to your property. Inspections by Ohio ISA certified arborists can often find and mitigate tree defects before they fail. Only professionals with specialized knowledge and training are properly equipped to provide appropriate care. To find an arborist, visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNRadio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now, let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Colin Behringer to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. This week on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, the guys discussed the Cavaliers and their early exit from the NBA playoffs. Jason Lloyd discusses why he believes Evan Mobley is crucial to the development of this team going forward, and Lloyd believes he can take the next step.
So I think that they are very much looking at this as Evan, the trajectory of Evan determining the fate of this franchise. And if he continues to grow, and obviously he had a breakthrough, I think we can all agree he had a breakthrough this year, but that's still not good enough to where they ultimately want to go. He has to have yet another, and I believe it's in there. There's another level or two to him that he's going to have to get to really by next year, because, we've talked about it at length. We'll talk about it all summer, but the rules changed. It used to be as long as your owner was willing to write checks, you could keep a group together as long as you want. And that's just not the reality that we live in anymore. And the reality is this team has probably 2 years left as it's currently constructed to win. And then they're going to have to start breaking off pieces, whether we want them to or not. That's just the reality of the situation that they're in. They're probably going to have to make significant changes in 2 more years. So the clock's ticking. He's got 2 years to get this done.
To catch the full breakdown, just search the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube, subscribe to their page, and enjoy daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine when we continue on the Ohio News Network.
May I have your attention for some important programming news? Whew. Sorry. T-Bone and Tyvis are hosting mornings weekdays at 6. That means Common Man and Timmy will share Bro Love at 3. My thoughts exactly. The Fan.
Common Man and Bob Capace here for Worthington Jewelers. Bob, you know what I love the most about you?
That I pay you to do these commercials?
That and the way you treat your customers.
All right, listen. I will hook you up in our warm, inviting environment. You will be greeted by our top sales professionals that are non-commissioned, but will help guide you through the entire process.
You're my guy, Bob. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com. Tell them Bob Capace sent you.
Hiring today for tomorrow with WM. A stable career and a safe environment. That's what you get as a heavy-duty mechanic at WM.
Plus great benefits like 100% tuition coverage for you and your family.
WM is now hiring heavy-duty mechanics in Columbus. Get boot and tool allowance and additional pay with a Cummins certification or CDL license.
There are openings for CDL truck drivers too with home daily routes.
Apply online at careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
A people-first, military-friendly, equal opportunity employer.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at MasheterFord.net. Thanks.
Hiring today for tomorrow with WM.
A stable career and a safe environment. That's what you get as a heavy-duty mechanic at WM.
Plus great benefits like 100% tuition coverage for you and your family.
WM is now hiring heavy-duty mechanics in Columbus. Get boot and tool allowance and additional pay with a Cummins certification or CDL license.
There are openings for CDL truck drivers too with home daily routes.
Apply online at careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
A people-first, military-friendly, equal opportunity employer.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-345-2789. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-345-2789. That's 800-345-2789 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-345-2789.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Big thank yous to Karen Antonini and Tim Alcorn for being with us this week on Ohio Sports Magazine. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Colin Behringer, Eric Reeser, and Paul Keels, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine, and join us next week right here on the Ohio News Network.